I was wrong in doing what I did.
No! Are you listening?
Sean here, and I don't know what has been going on with my recordings. There was that crackling sound, and I apologize for that crackling sound. I have no idea what caused it. We need to get that crackling sound out of our lives. We all know Lorne Armstrong. He likes to include people, our lives. Get the doctor out of our life. As if Ramona and his lives became joined somehow. I think it's more proof the dude is a virgin. Lorne has only learned what he's seen at home from Mom and Paul, Mom and Pa, Ma and Pa. That's what we're going to call him from now on. From what he's seen from Ma and Pa. And what I mean is, when you're married and you have kids, your lives kind of meld together. And you have to work together. And you have to schedule and plan. You have to make sure the family is taken care of. So you have to get on the right schedule, one that complements the other. Lorne believes that every girlfriend he's ever had, and I say girlfriend, you know what I mean, every catfish girlfriend he's ever had needs to be on the same schedule as he is. I think one of the most important things is the sleep schedule, how he wants them to sleep when he's sleeping. They need to be awake when he's awake. The phone call, the voicemail to Debbie, where he says he has a dentist appointment at 8 a.m. in the morning. And he's hoping she calls him before then. If he gets up at 6 o'clock and he text messages you, he starts counting from 6 o'clock. If you work a 12-hour shift and you don't get up until 10 a.m., it doesn't matter. Why can't you get up before that to text me? Because I texted you early in the morning, and we know Lorne, if he had to get up at 6, he'll make it sound like he got up at 6 just to contact you, just to text you, because he's such a romantic and good guy. A warning sign, as we've mentioned before, if you haven't heard me go off on relationship OCD, I broke it down, you should probably go do that. But a warning sign is somebody who gets up in the morning and the first thing they do is text message you or call you, and then text message you again a short time after, or call you a short time after. Because these people are scary. Not the ones that will text you in the beginning, hey baby, hope you have a good day, or have a good day, sweetheart, before they go to work. That's different. We're talking about Lorne Armstrong, who will text you the moment his eyes open. Hey, it's me. Give me a call back when you get this, okay? As he does that voice that I hate when he's talking to Casey. Casey, you know that's not the way to do it. Or when he's leaving a voicemail for Debbie, when he's talking to her like she had a bad crayon drawing and he's trying to reassure her. When he says, I'm getting there little by little, so I don't want you to lose faith in me, okay? Like she's a child. Like he's telling her, hey, I know it's tough, but I need you to have faith in me. It's going to be over soon, okay? Can't stand that voice. Texting as soon as he wakes up, starting the countdown, calling, texting, calling, getting frantic because you didn't call him back, having to sit there and wonder what's going on. That's why he can't stand it when Winnie's up till 4 in the morning, or Jamie. I don't know this for sure, but whatever the catfish women's schedule were, that was how he was going to try to, I guess, work his schedule with work. He worked his schedule with work. That's awesome, Sean. He was going to try to work out his schedule so that they would match up sleep patterns. If Jamie was going to be up till 5 or 6 in the morning, Lorne was going to be up till 5 or 6 in the morning. If they were going to talk until 4, or if Ramona worked from midnight to 4 in the morning, boom, that's what Lorne was going to do. It's not that he's making himself available. It's not that he's changing his schedule to complement the other schedule. It's Lorne changing his schedule because he is dependent. He's not codependent. He's dependent. And dependent people get bold every once in a while. They want to prove they're not dependent, even though they know they are. They're relying on the other person for everything. Choose wherever they go to eat. I already said relying on them to manage the money. Lorne makes it seem like he's making a sacrifice, but he's not making a sacrifice. He is trying to make sure that every waking moment his catfish women have is devoted to him. I don't know if he thinks that being on the phone and walking around is the same thing. I wonder sometimes if they connected on the phone and he just set the phone down in his trailer, it had reception, and they were on speakerphone. I wonder if he would think that was a healthy relationship. Picture it. Mr. Penis walking around naked in his trailer with baloney stuck to his big fat gut, telling his dogs, shut up, and he's got the phone right there on speaker, and he can't leave the room because he's going to be listening to every little sound that's coming through. Baby, is that you? We kind of already have proof with the 3 hours of talking to nobody that Lorne did, because he thought he heard a sound on the other end, or maybe breathing. So desperate and so pathetic. I would like to tie him up and force him to listen to himself talk to nobody for 3 hours. He would say, well, it's not pathetic. I just thought I was being there for support. I can hear all of the excuses coming right now, and him saying he's not desperate. But I think the schedule, that means you're giving up your job. Just like relationship OCD, you have to change everything to meet their needs. And he's getting there little by little. The only thing that gets there little by little is Lorne's one brain cell traveling from one side to the other, or words traveling slowly to his mouth as he says, yeah, over and over again. But the only thing truly getting there little by little is how much you're having to change to suit his needs, because you need to be on his schedule. I always say I wish with Lorne. I want to smack him and say, look, let me educate you on a relationship. First thing we're going to talk about is time management. Maximizing your time when you're talking to them. You wouldn't need to be in contact with them every waking moment if you didn't spend every waking moment screaming and yelling about the previous day. Groundhog Day. Talking to Lorne would be screaming and yelling, an apology later that night or in the morning. Then screaming and yelling about the reason he was screaming and yelling yesterday. And it would just go on and on. And because he has those emotional needs and he needs to get all of that out, and he does think slowly, and I bet he forgets a whole bunch of things he wanted to say. So he's got to call back. He needs all of that extra time on the phone. He absolutely has to have it, even though a lot of times you hear there's nothing to talk about, but he won't hang up the phone because he's desperate. I used to do that when I was, what grade? 6th grade, 7th grade. You didn't want to get off the phone, but you didn't have anything to say. There was excitement. Your stomach was in knots because the girl you liked was on the other end, or the boy, or whoever it was. Lorne just does it because without the connection, he's alone. His children, anybody would have to be on his schedule. I wish I could hear, and I say I wish again, I wish I could hear what he says to his mom when he's not trying to play the good son on the phone when he's being recorded, or when he knows that the girls, women, whoever it is, are listening, or anybody, the people that went and visited him, the people that enabled him, the ones that have probably set him back 10 years, what he said when they were there, how he talked to her. Did he pretend to be that perfect son? Hello, mother dear. I love you. What a freaking moron. He spends so much time, as I said in the Time Cop video. Lorne's nightmare would be himself, because he does nothing and he can account for nothing. If a cop came and said, Lorne, where were you? What were you doing on the night of February 2nd? Well, I was just sitting here at the trailer. He wouldn't have any alibis because he does nothing. I think it would be more painful for him to not speak to somebody and know they do nothing at home. Because to him, if you're doing nothing, you need to be on the phone. If you were doing something that didn't involve any penises, or the possibility, because it's really the possibility that there could be one there, or that the bartender was a guy and he was serving him drinks, and Lorne would say, would you check your drinks, because sometimes they put drugs in there. You shouldn't go back to that bar. If you had nothing to do, you better be on the phone with him. You better have some time with him. Not talking to him while you have nothing to do, that would be hell. At least when you called, if you, see, you have a life and Lorne doesn't. So he's going to talk about your life. And he's going to want to nitpick your life. And he's going to want to be toxic. As in telling you what you do, you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you need to do, without you even asking. Even if it sounds like you had a wonderful time, he's going to try to change everything about it. He's never done what you did, but he read about it or heard about it somewhere. So he's going to tell you what you should be doing because he's going to try to manage your time so that you have more time to be on the phone with him. You know, most people only stay there for 2 hours. You were there for 2.5. You know, 2 hours is probably the most. You know, call me as soon as you get out. This is also a guy who went in, I guess, to one of his classes and had a break and could come outside and smoke. And he was like, I'm going to be out here for another 15 minutes. Baby, please call me. I need you. I have 15 minutes. Why aren't you calling me? Whenever he asked him, why'd you hang up? I don't know, Lorne. You were screaming and yelling and being a dick and you had nothing to talk about. That's why they hung up. Baby. You could probably name somebody that had his wife or that had her husband had them change their schedule because they wanted them, because it was too tough on the family. Which in reality wasn't too tough on the family. It was too tough on them. They didn't want to have to expend any extra effort to get up maybe 15, 20 minutes early. They didn't want to have to watch the kids for an extra half hour or an hour. I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying you probably know somebody. Or they don't like them being gone for 12 hours. If they work shifts and then they have 3 or 4 days off, they're going to want them to switch because those 3 or 4 days off, 4 on, 3 off, 3 on, 4 off, that's not going to work for people like Lorne. You're going to be working exactly what he works, and if he had his way, you would be in the truck with him while he's driving down the road, and you'd be in the truck waiting for him, and then he'd escort you to the bathroom, and you'd go in and eat together. He'd wait outside the bathroom. He's a scary guy, and any woman would have to change her life so that all of her free time would be spent on the phone talking to him or sitting at home. I had a legitimately sweet video, at least I thought it was, where I was talking about Cornville Three-Way, and I was talking about Winnie's boyfriend/husband and how genuinely nice they seemed and the way they treated people, even when I was having my imaginary one-sided feud with Winnie's boyfriend/husband. He was a good sport, and I was just having some fun. I thought it was funny, and eventually he thought it was funny too, or at least he thought I was funny, not in a good way. They schedule all the time. They schedule all the time. And something as simple as Slash scheduling me and then me forgetting that I had already agreed to be on Cornville Three-Way stream, and I have to call Slash, and I said, or whatever, however I contact him, and I'm like, look, I am so sorry, I forgot how it already scheduled. Now he would be like, hey, no problem, man, we'll get you on a future. I got Il Rig or Evil Little McNutt, whoever lined up. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And then if you were Lorne and you forgot about something and you told him, look, I have a commitment on this day, Lorne's schedule's not going to allow that because he had nothing on his schedule. But he's going to let you know he cleared his schedule so they could have some quality time. You're going to have to cancel that commitment because he's not going to stop until you do. And if Lorne was Slash, I would have to cancel Cornville Three-Way to be on his stream. Because Lorne would never let that happen. No, you need to be with me. Because his selfishness, his ego, his insecurity, all of that would mix into that perfect Lorne vortex and in the Lorne stew. And he couldn't handle it. His friend's schedule. If they wanted to go see a movie, it's going to be when Lorne is available. And also, if you think about the way Lorne lives, it's going to be at a moment when Lorne could possibly have the money. So postpone seeing your movie because I don't know if I'm going to have the money, or I may be driving truck that day. And I should, not I will, I should have enough money to be able to afford some popcorn if we go to the theater. Can one of you guys spot me money, and I promise I'll pay you back to go to this movie? they would probably give in. God, just shut up, Lorne. Maybe draw straws to see who it is that's going to suck it up and pay for him to get to the movie because they know they're not getting the money back. But that's the way his scheduling would work. Make your schedule on the possibility that I might be able to make it on that day or another day. And make it on, if I can make it on those days, will I have the money? And that's acceptable to him because the world revolves around Lorne. He's never had any friends. Never had a girlfriend. He doesn't know how the world works. So he just assumes that you would understand that since he's such an important friend in your life, if he didn't know exactly when he could go and if he would have the money, you should be understanding of that. But if you made a commitment and you forgot about it, and you said, yeah, Lorne, we can hang out, and you had to go to that commitment, he's going to flip out because he's a selfish asshole. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Hang on, I can't even catch my breath. Hang on.
What?